Yes. So we are here with the opportunity to change people's lives. It's as simple as that. I have been in America for 20 good years. And for that 20 years, let me tell you, I have gone from working as a pizza making person to working in a psych ward, to working as a CNA, to working as an LPN, then an RN, then with BSN. Now I have MSN, and now I'm teaching about money. God is good. Every journey in our life defines who we are. It's only Almighty Allah that knows where you're going. We only work, we only do the legwork. Our future is very bright. So I hope everybody has sunglasses. Is there anybody that doesn't own a sunglass at home? Because your future is bright. I hope you have a sunglass, because in this country, as long as you listen to what we're telling you, it will change your life. Because in the American system, when you go to school, they teach you to become what? To become a worker, to work and be in jail, journey of the broke, JOB. But it's going to change today, because we will open your eyes to a business, to an opportunity that costs you little to nothing, to what? To empower your future, to empower yourself, to liberate your family. There's a lot of knowledge that is out there, but you need a system. The system is not given to you for free. But today you are going to hear about this information for free, because it's going to change your life and the lives of people around you. Because you today has been chosen by God. You are the one that will share the information with your community. We are from different specs of the country, and we are living in different locations in America. And we do business in America and Canada, by the way. So please and please, do not be selfish. I know some people in Africa, they'll be like, oh no, I don't want somebody to know my secret. I don't want somebody, let me you bless somebody today, the blessing in multiple fold. You might not see it, but trust me, you're getting it. That is karma. When you do something good, good comes. You do something bad, bad comes. So let us be somebody's destiny helper. Please and please invite who you know that is sitting down at home right now, probably thinking of picking up over time. Bless them with this information so their life can be changed forever. There's two parts to the presentation today. Our presentation does not exceed 45 minutes to an hour. We keep it short, but it's impactful. It has lots of juice. It has everything you need. Maybe it might not have suya inside, but it has everything. So I have Champion Mutu, who is my husband, and he has been in business with me for the past 2 years. We've been married for a long time, by the way, but that's a story for another day. So he is going to share with you guys the business opportunity. Let me tell you, a lot of people in this room have jobs that's paying them more than what? More than 6 figures. But they have realized that they are working for somebody. They need to own their own time. Do you realize that if you work for somebody, you have to ask for permission? But it is your time, but you're asking for permission to take your time. So what about you taking back your time and still be making money? That is the power of what we do. So we want you to take back your time and have freedom of location, freedom of money, and more freedom of what? Time. So Champion Mutu, I want you to bless us with this wonderful business opportunity. And when we're done, I'll open you guys to the power of the product of index your money, indexing your money. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. You're welcome to today's episode. My name is Mutu. I am a licensed financial professional. I am also a registered nurse. So do we have any nurses in the building? If not, everybody else is welcome. Champion Folake also too has partially stepped away from nursing. So I am going to share my part of this presentation, which is the side hustle part. And Sam also is, okay, welcome. Right, good afternoon. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and this is just my part, which is the business part of this, and it has given us that ample opportunity to be able to do something different. So we want you to think of your income as a table. If your income is just the first picture, what happens when that leg goes off? You fall flat on your bottom. The question is, how long before you start to financially run into crisis or run into, lack of funds? A lot of people say they live from paycheck to paycheck. Some others can stay up to about 6 months before they start to, need something else to come in from one way or the other. Take a look at the second table. If it loses one leg, what do you think happens? It can still balance. So that's what we're talking about today. And if you're looking for that financial opportunity, you are welcome to the place to be. So keep your mind open and just go along with us. Any questions you may have, please Please write them down and we'll answer those questions for you at the end of this presentation. In my area where I currently stay, the income of of licensed financial professional is about $88,000 in the first 3 years of business. In 4 to 7 years, you can earn about 315, and about 8 to 10 years, you can see almost $1 million. Some other champions in this business do it full time. This is just average. Some do it full time and they're making way more than this. And some others are just in this just to make an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month to help offset some of life's expenses, your bills and whatever that comes along. So we in this hierarchy, and there are lots of hierarchies in this business. We have the Chinese hierarchy, the Indian hierarchy, the Caucasian hierarchy. It's a lot of people in here, but guess what? We're still not enough. In our own little team, led by Daniel Fumble, in 2021, the whole team made $17 million. $17 million looks like a lot of money to some people, but for some people, it's not enough. And if you ask me, I would say it is not enough because I have seen what this industry is capable of, and it is very, very huge. So a lot of people got licensed and they became somebody's destiny's helper, and this was a result of helping families. So the following year, which was 2022, we went up to 43 million. Isn't that crazy? More than double. So more people found out that there was something else they could do on the side that doesn't require them to lock down 12 hours of their lives or 8 hours, 5 days a week working for somebody. So that started to bring or create more sources of income, and people were able to regain some freedom of time and resources. 70 million in 2023. And this looks like it's growing much, but just to give you a perspective, one of these companies in 2024 spent about $1 billion in advertising on the television, on radios and newspapers. If I ask anybody on this call today, when was the last time you've sat down to get financial information on television? It doesn't happen. You don't see it. What about in the newspapers? Some of you don't even remember the last time you saw or picked up a newspaper. So what we're doing is we're getting licensed and we are doing that job as a foot soldier, going into the community, educating and enlightening them so that they can have or make better decisions. $92 million in 2024. More and more people are coming like, okay, instead of being rushing through traffic, trying to break an arm and a leg to get into the hospital to go do an overtime, guess what? I can sit down, I can take my children to the park, sit down with other families and talk to them about financial education and get paid. So now what matters to you is beginning to make more impact. You're spending more time with family, you're taking the kids to the park, and you can do this business anywhere. So last year, 2025, 129 million. And ladies and gentlemen, if you put this on a ratio to 1 billion that a company spent, this is just probably a scratch on the surface, right? So the opportunities are there, the companies are there, and there are companies that you and I already know. Some of them already had your 401k. We're talking about Fidelity, Transamerica, Pacific Life, then Nationwide is on your side. These are companies and much more that we affiliate with. Mind you, we don't work for them. That is the power we have as licensed financial professionals. We get licensed, the government gives us a license, just like we have our nursing license that we sat down and took almost 3 hours to write that exam at a Pearson View location. The same thing, you have to get that license to be able to talk to people about the products these companies carry. So what is the side effect? It's a blank check. That means you can write how much you want to earn from any of these companies. So just to give you a pictorial representation, these are people that look like you and I. These are people that probably have careers that you're also into, and they took that chance to get licensed. They took that extra effort not to go work for somebody, but build their own. Because in this business, whatever you do is building for yourself and those coming after you. And do you know one fantastic thing about this business? This is the only business that comes with a government-issued license that you can hand down to your family. That's right. Your nursing license, you cannot hand it to your family. Your doctoral PhD, you cannot give it to your family. But this is the only license allowed that can be given down to your family. So if you're hearing things in America, but this is something new that you've not heard before, how come? Because some people are informed in America and some are not informed. So which side do you want to stay on? before you came to this presentation today, I would say you're on the fence. So today, you are either going to be informed or remain uninformed. So what you want to do is up to you. But what we're telling you is that chance and that opportunity exists right here. These are people. This is a doctor, by the way. She's earning $77,000 in 3 months. What would that look like in a whole year? You just have to multiply that by 4 and you have an idea. Hospital administrator. You can do this business even when you're outside of the country. All you have to have is to meet the requirements to do this business. Welcome to the good life. And what does that mean? People are earning 6 figures in 3 months. What do you currently earn right now? I know as a full-time RN, because I will speak as a nurse, it's about, we know Florida doesn't even pay nurses well. So what does that look like? Maybe 62 to 65,000 a year, maybe at tops if you've been here for like 10 years, in the nursing field, you're probably earning maybe 75. After taxes, what does that look like? Here, what you see is what you earn. Then at the end of the year, you pay your taxes and you go your merry way, right? Gilbert Fon, you guys might have to pinch him to see this clearly. He used to be a nurse. Now he's earning what 5, 6 nurses earn in 1 year. He takes it home in 1 month. How is that possible? It's all possible in this business. And if you follow along, we will show you how you can also get a license and do the same thing. Are you looking just to make $60,000 in a month? Or even if that's too much for you, maybe how about 1,800? This is somebody's mortgage. What if you help one family in 1 month and make that 1,800? You don't have to rush through traffic. How many overtime or how much of overtime? How many hours do you have to put in to make this 1,800 in overtime? Somebody else can sit down and educate a family in about 40 minutes and make this money. So the power of choice is in our hands. How are you choosing to use it? That is the question. So joining this business doesn't take much, and it also takes a lot because some criteria have to be in check. First of all, you have to have a clear background check. That means no issues, no arrests, no felonies. Then everybody I just showed you and much more all have a business ID. You cannot start a barber shop without an EIN, right? You cannot start a car dealership without an EIN. You cannot start as a nurse practitioner running your own business without an EIN. The same thing for this business. There's a one-time business ID for 125. It's not monthly, it's not semi-annual, it's a one-time fee for life. Then there's an online course depending on what state you live in. If you live in the state of Florida, you have to take a course. It's called Life and Health. It costs $200. But because you're here today, because you're with people that have been in this business for quite some time and we have helped so many people get licensed, we have a discount code that will drop it to $30 for you. So once you pay your $125 for the business code and you sign up for the online class, you're already getting your value back in discounts. Then the most important part, getting licensed. Your state that you live in has to license you. And of course, you can get licensed in multiple states. We currently have about 22 state licenses, and this is just a few of them. So now this sand, what do you think it represents? It represents a whole bunch of work that needs to be done. And how much of work have we done? It's just about a bucket of sand. So there are hundreds of millions of people in America. The information you're hearing today, you have never heard it before. So why don't you be an agent and also help in this business to educate the community and get paid for it? We are already educating people in our daily lives. As a nurse, I always educate patients while they're at the hospital, what their diagnosis was, what their treatment was, their discharge plan, and their follow-up. All those things we have to do. But it already comes with what we're being paid. How about you get a license and educate family on finances and make some extra money from it? Why would you want to join this, you would think? We have almost 20 millionaires, and also in 2026, we have a projection of about 25, I think, millionaires to come up this year. So people have quit their careers. We have pastors, we have nurse practitioners, we have RNs. They're all here. They have quit their jobs to do this full time. So they are making millions in a year. So when I started initially and I said there's an average, your first 3 years, you can make $88,000. These people are doing way above that. Some people are making $150,000 a week. And it is also possible if you believe and you follow the strategy. Second thing is that we get paid 9 times in a month. Some people are getting paid twice in a month. We are smiling twice a week. So when you see us smiling anyhow, it's not that we're crazy. There's no psychosis or schizophrenia going on, I promise you. It's just that we're getting paid twice a week, and sometimes we are paid very handsomely. Then on top of what we do, the work we put in and we get paid for, we also get extra bonuses of up to 4,000. If I am helping one of the companies get so many clients and the approval is at a high rate, guess what? They're still going to pay me 4,000. If I did a work of $10,000, guess what? They're still going to give me 4,000 extra. How much of overtime would you have to do at your current job to make 4,000? So that's food for thought. Once you become a broker, you get more bonuses monthly and quarterly. Remember, these companies are not allowed to transact with the public directly. You are the person that comes in between to be their spokesperson. So you see how important you are? So for them to be able to reach the consumers, they always have to make you feel good and, appreciate you for the job you're doing. So what do you think a company will do to make sure you're on the happy side and write more policies for them? They're going to give you bonuses. So a lot of bonuses comes from different companies, and you can search them. There are hundreds of them. So whoever you decide to affiliate with determines how much you're going to get paid also. From MD and up, which is marketing director, you own part of the company. How much do you own in the current workplace you are now? As a nurse in the hospital, how much is the hospital giving you that you own part of in stocks? It doesn't happen, right? It happens in this business. Then also, the parent company is worth over 400 billion. We also take vacations worldwide. In a few weeks, we are going to the Bahamas. About almost 1,000 families qualified for this free event. So if you are someone that likes to take trips across seas, this is the place for you to be. So there are more and more, but let's listen to what we do for families, which is the most important. And Champion Folake is going to go ahead and do that for us. Thank you. Take it over.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much. Let me tell you, when I hear this information, I get so over and over again. Some of you know, like me, growing up, my mom was a businesswoman, right? My mom loves to do business. And I used to say, like, man, I hate doing business, because business, you have to be asking somebody, oh yeah, pay up. In Africa, you sell and then you collect the money at the end of the month when they pay. This is not the kind of business. So this one, you get paid by big companies, that multi-million-dollar companies will pay you directly because you are in business with them. You're not working for them. You're working with them. Can you imagine? You're working with multi-billion-dollar industry. Google on your phone right now and say, what is the fastest business that's growing millionaires? Google on your phone, and whatever you see, type it in the chat. What is the fastest industry that's creating millionaires? Put it in the chat. It's not healthcare. It's not law firm. It is a financial industry. And when you know the secret around money, then you know that you have the key to success. Do you know one thing they don't teach us in school? They teach you everything you need to know, but they don't teach you money. You work for the money, but they don't teach you money itself, on how to make the money work for you. So I thank you so much, Champion Mutual, and I thank every one of you for coming to this Zoom, because you could be doing something else, but God has chosen today for you to sit in this Zoom and listen to this information. I want you to spend just 30 seconds and bless somebody. Send the message to them and say, you know what? I don't know whatever you're doing right now, but I know there's something you're going to gain from listening to this Zoom. Jump on. No question asked, just jump on and let God bless them through you. Okay? So the presentation doesn't take long. You have to give me co-host. And I want you guys to know, God doesn't make mistakes. God doesn't make mistakes. You could be stuck in the traffic, or you could be in the hospital, but no, you are here listening to this wonderful information because God said today is the day. Somebody might be in America for 10 years. Somebody might be in America for 1 year, but you are chosen by God to hear this information because we're working for God. We are trying to change our community. Let me tell you, America is great. The American system, you just have to understand it, and you will stop running the rat race. So financial education, one of the reasons the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, is because the subject of money is taught at home and not in school. Let me ask you this. Like, I come from a family where my parents didn't go to school. My parents did elementary school, and that's it. And what they taught me about money is what I know. So tell me how I can be master of money if I don't learn about money in America. And that goes with a lot of you. You come to America with the dream of American dream. And then when you come here, somebody tells you, you know, you have to work in a factory, right? can testify that that's what they told them. Somebody will tell you that, oh, you have to go and do CNA. Somebody will tell you that you have to go and do Uber. Let me tell you, you don't have to start from the bottom. You just have to learn the system that makes it work for you. Saving your future. We live in one of the wealthiest countries. America is blessed with resources. But do you know that as much as we are blessed, people are homeless on the street of America because of lack of financial education? With one move, one wrong move, you can lose everything you have. Do you know a medical doctor can be sued for $10 million and they take everything he has? They never give you up to 10 million of lawsuit protection. They'll give you $1 million. But nobody sues for 1 million when they're suing a doctor. When they're suing a nurse practitioner, they don't sue for that. They sue for bigger. So what do you have to do? You need to learn how to protect what is yours. You can work as hard as you want and still retire poor in America. We do so much to raise our kids, but do you want them to end up in the same debt that you have? Imagine you went to school, you're owing $100,000. Do you want your children to also go to school and be owing that same amount? Or do you want to plan for their future so your kids can go to school for free? Because of what? Because of what you have put in place. Understanding how money works is part of you raising your family. You have to understand money. We all want to retire comfortably, but we fail to plan. Can you imagine you deciding today that you want to make egusi soup and you don't have egusi at home? Can you make egusi soup? I know some people might be like, what is egusi soup? If you want to make spaghetti, and you don't have spaghetti at home, don't you have to buy it? You have to buy the spaghetti, the sauce, the oil. You have to buy the ingredient that you need. So when you want to retire well, you have to start planning now. And trust me, there's nobody that's more interested in your retirement than yourself. Your children, your grandkids that are not yet even born cannot plan your retirement for you. Okay? So what? What is your responsibility in all this? You need to understand money. I want you guys to pay attention to this. You need to understand money. Getting paid at your job is not understanding money. You're a slave to money. We need to stop being, that's what they call modern day slavery. Back in the days, they would take our forefathers and they would take them to the field and they give them bread for their labor. That's exactly what we're doing. But now we willingly go for the slavery. We willingly sign up at the job and tell the job, pay me for my time. Can you ever turn 24 hours into 48 hours? You cannot. Some people work 2-3 jobs. There's no way you can work more than 24 hours a day. You need to also understand how it works. You need to understand how to make money work for you. Let money be slave to you. Tell money to go and do the work for you. Because it can. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is that successful people are willing to do the work that unsuccessful people are not willing to do. So money has different ways it grows. Money grows in a flat rate, fixed, in a variable rate, and an index rate. As soon as you come to America, you get a job, they tell you to get a fixed, a current or checking account where they can pay your They pay your salary in. They force you to come into the fixed account. But it does nothing for you. Tell me, is bank in the business of making money for you or making money for themselves? I want you to type in the chat. Is bank in the business of making money for you or making money for the bank? Bank is in business of making money for themselves. You're going to put your money in the bank. The money makes money for the bank, but you are left with nothing. That's what is called fixed. It's like a flat line. You see, when somebody has a flat line, the hospital will be calling a code. Code, we come and do compression, CPR, we're trying to bring that person to life. That's exactly what your own account is doing. Somebody might be like, I'm proactive. Guess what? In your job decides that, okay, you have to have a 401k. It's a variable bucket. But you see, this bucket is tricky. One day your money makes money. Another day you lose money. You make money, you lose money. Sometimes you can lose even up to half of the money you have in there. If you have not checked your 401k, go and check it. Your 401k is 20.5k, 200.5k right now. You're losing money. And that is your retirement plan. You are gambling with a future that you know is definitely going to happen. Have you seen anybody that the government will tell you that I'm going to take care of you when you retire? No. Do you know that 401k taxes are cheaper now than later? The government says don't pay tax now. Wait till when it is what? It is your retirement age, and then I'll come for it. Please tell me, with all the things that's happening in our environment, do you think the government is owing less now or they'll owe more later? All this stuff they're developing, they're using it to make all these things they're sending to other countries. They have money that they're using to do this. and they borrow money. The country is in more debt every time. And do you know who's paying for it? Middle class. Because the elite work for themselves. The elite have a system that keeps their money contained and they don't lose a dime. The middle class work for peanuts. They take from that peanut, half of your money goes in your 401k, and then almost 3/4 of that money will go to the government at the end of the day. So tell me how your future is bright. Before we started, I said your future will be bright. Go and get sunglasses because I'm going to teach you on how to change the outcome of your future and the future of your generation. We have the index. This is what the elites do. You see, I said a lot of people, 95% of people are falling in here, and that's why they're going to be broke for the rest of their life. The 5% are here using this portfolio, protecting their money. Do you know that index account prevents anybody from actually suing you because you technically do not own the bucket? It is a system that requires a licensed agent to also teach you. Tell me how your job will come to tell you and say you should get an index account. They don't do that. They'll put your money here, but the same company that has the variable account have the index account, but they will never tell you. The banking will not tell you. In the fixed bucket, they will never tell you to put your money here. When you put your money in a fixed account, the bank will go behind your back and put in an index account and grow your account for you. But only that they're the one that get enriched. There's what they call rule of 72 in America. If you divide 72 by 1, it tells you how long it will take your money to multiply for you. Remember, we want our money to work for us so we don't have to work again in our lives. Okay? In a fixed rate, you have 1%. And by the age of 29, your account is at $10,000. By the time you are 101 years old, that's when your account will double. Do you know at that time your teeth has fallen off? You might probably be incontinent and not even know what money looks like. Is that when you want your money to work for you? But let's look at the variable account. We have the 4%. We have the what? We have the 6%. Remember, your money needs to work for you. When you go to your job and you pick up overtime, they will pay you a time and a half. But do you know that time and a half is taxed? Not time and a half is taxed more than that. That is why at the end of the day, you look like I work so much hours, but yet I'm still ending up with the same amount I was supposed to make if I didn't work overtime. There's a method to the madness. They want the middle class to continue to work like slaves, beasts of burden. But we are woke now. This is why I said God has chosen for you to learn today about how money works. You see, the index account is about what? About 8 to 12%. This is why the bank loves to use it. But they don't show you how to use it because they don't want you to what? They don't want you to be financially free. If everybody can stop putting money in the bank, do you realize that the bank will get bankrupt? The bank is in the business of, you are their customer. We are their customers. They have to make us bring our money to them so they can use the money to invest in somewhere else. But what about if we teach you on how you can become your own bank? That is what we call index account. That is what the elites have used to be better than us. When you put your money at the age of 29, do you know you do nothing but just fuel that account? And by the age of 65, you have $640,000. Let me tell you, look at the difference between 4% and 12%. At the age of 65, this person has 40,000. At 12%, at the age of 65, this other person has 640. Where did the 600,000 go? You just made the bank $600,000 richer. So what account do you have that grows tax-free? Remember, you make money. You want your money to stay with you, right? You don't want to pay more in taxes than you need to. But you know what? Their account that the government will give you. Remember, the government is not in the business to help you. They have a system. It's just like you selling something. When you're selling something, your goal is to make money. You're not in the business of losing money. So the bank wants to make money, and that's what they give you. Do you know that Roth IRA only limits you to put 6,000 to 7,000 in there? So tell me, people that make $500,000, how do they grow their money? They give the middle class Roth IRA. They give you the municipal bond. It's tax-free, all right, but it's limited. And then you have restriction too. If you want to take out the money early, you have a penalty. It is your money, but I'll penalize you for taking that money. How does that sound? Well, you don't think about it. It sounds okay, right? Because you don't think about it. But do you know that the elite have what they call the 7702 account, where you can take your money out at any time? You fuel the money. You put as much money. You have no limit to how much you can put inside. You can grow millions of dollars in it. And you don't pay taxes. I don't understand if you guys understand this. Even if you buy a pencil at the dollar store, you still pay taxes on it. You buy drinking water, you pay tax on that money. You buy gas. Who knows how much gas is now? Please type in the chat, how much is gas in your state right now? Because I know it's not cheap. It used to be like, what, $40 to fill my tank. Now I'm using double the amount to fill my tank. Did your job decide to give you extra 50-cent raise or $1 raise to match the increase in gas? Because you're still going to spend the same amount of time to go to your job, which means you're going to spend more money to get to your job, but yet you're making less. The elites have an answer. When you're at your job, they'll give you 401k. It's a variable account. There's a reason why they give it to you, because that's what keeps you staying at the job. You can never be rich. JOB is called Journey of the Broke. If you want to be continuously broke for the rest of your life, stay with JOB. But if you want to change the result of your future, you need to become what? You need to become an entrepreneur. You need to start making money passively, where if you're not physically present, you're still making money. The elites have the long-term care that they use. Have you seen the video where somebody said that make sure you have a long-term care plan, because they're having a lot of people being kicked out of rehab because they ran out of money? Your health insurer does not have unlimited rehab plan. I'm telling you, you are 65 years old and they kick you out and now you're homeless. You're like, hey, how can a whole me be homeless? Because you didn't plan. You need an account that has unlimited amount of money for you to go to rehab. Tell me, when you have a car, your car gets broken down, right? You take it to the mechanic. Let me tell you, there's nobody that's not going to have something wrong with their bone, because that's the structure, that's the metal in the body. That's the structure that's holding the body together. You miss a step when you are young, it's like rubber. You get up and walk. When you're in your 40s, your 50s, you break, like you fall down, it will break. They have to do what? They have to do surgery. When they do surgery, do you think they're going to do surgery and send you home directly? No, they're going to send you to rehab. Are you planning on what will happen when you go to rehab? Do you think your salary will keep giving you money when you're in rehab? If you cannot work for a long time, let me tell you, there's no money that comes in after 6 months. If you don't believe me, ask anybody that's not working for the past 6 months. They have what? How you can grow the plan tax deferred. You can pass the money to your children without paying taxes. If you have a house and you transfer the house to your child, you have to pay inheritance tax for that money, for that house that you're giving, because the value, you're giving your child value, even though you own it. That's if you bought the house, you own it, and you transfer, you still have to pay inheritance tax. But here, tax-free. When the government gives you 401k at your job, the elite in this country use what they call annuity, where you can never outlive your money. There's no way you live to be 100 years and you don't have any money. Have you seen a lot of old people come back to the hospital and say, oh, you know what, they ran out of money and they came back? It's not going to be your portion. What account would you use to send your children to college without paying student loan? Some people might say, well, you know what, I have Florida prepaid. I have 529. Do you know that your child cannot decide they want to go to school in the UK or they want to go to school in another state? There's a problem, because it's only meant to that location, that region where you're living in. The day you want to collect it, you have to pay what? You have to pay penalty. You have to, because you're not using it for what it's intended for. Your child cannot start a business. Have you seen like Fubu? Fubu started making Fubu from the garage of his grandmother. What if your child decides, I want to be a business owner? That money you have in the student college plan, can your child withdraw it? Your child wants to get married. She's a young girl and she just decided, I found the love of my life, I want to get married. Can you use that money for marriage? You cannot. But yet it's your money. But the elite have the 7702 account that everything you can use it for. You can use it to buy the first home for that child. You can use it to buy their first car. Remember, you can buy a car for a child for as young as 16 years old. They get their license, you get them a car. We did the same thing. Make your money work for you. Make it work hard for you, because you have done the hard work. There should be no reason why you're working harder to make life easy for your family when you have another way. And remember, you have a lot of the responsibility on your hands. Your responsibility is not only to go and work for money, to be a slave to money. Your responsibility is also to manage that money. What account do you have that bypass probate? Some people might be wondering, what is probate? Let me tell you, there's a reason why you don't know what probate is, because if you don't have anybody that has died in that family, you might not know what probate is. Right? There's divorce court, there's marriage court, but probate court, they will never advertise it on TV, but it exists. So let me tell you, while you are alive, you have all the bills you're owing. Probate court is meant to help you pay those debts when you pass away. You might be like, oh, I don't have any debt. But remember, the day you die, there's ambulance that'll take you to the hospital. Even though it is $500 is the ambulance fee, they will not say, oh, $500. They'll still freeze your account. So let's take a closer look. Over 10,000 people start GoFundMe every day. Do you know the reason why? Because of medical and memorial. Somebody falls sick today, GoFundMe. Somebody dies today. A medical doctor dies today. We're begging for money. Can you imagine? A medical doctor is making about $250,000 to $300,000. A six-figure earner. We're begging for $10,000 to bury him. Not because he didn't have the money, but because the government, they froze the money. Probate court. You're going to know what probate court is today. Because the question is, what will be the result when something happens to you when you pass away or when you fall sick? Will we be doing GoFundMe for you, or would we be giving a check to your family because you are proactive? You do have sometimes they do GoFundMe for education and non-profit, but the most common one is medical and memorial. So let's take a closer look. You see, estate. People might not know what estate is. They might be like, oh, it's a mansion in Africa. Estate is not mansion in America. Let me tell you, America has different meaning to estate. When you are alive, all the money you're owing, your credit card debt, your car loan, your mortgage, your student loan, water bill, all those are bills, they're debts. You didn't pay before you pass away. The day you pass away, they flip it to estate. The government will now set up a system that helps you to pay the estate, but it does not have to do with your family. So the government will freeze every account you own to help you pay this debt, except 2 accounts. And you're going to see your family have nothing to say about it. It can take up to 6 to 2 years before the probate court will deal with the money. So what do your family survive on? Nothing. So when you get GoFundMe from a family that they are begging, it's not because they want to, it's because they have to, because their money is frozen in probate. Let me show you this. You are that person that works hard. You work 2 jobs. You're making about $3,000, $5,000 a month. Your money is sitting in your checking account. The day God says it's time to go, that money will become frozen. Government will freeze it. Your family have access to nothing. Savings account will become frozen. CD will become frozen. America system, this is how it is. You just have to understand it and see how to protect what matters to you. What is mostly important to you? If your family is your why not protect your money for your family? Your 401k, you're saving for your retirement, you put it in there, it's going to be frozen. It's not going to be given to your beneficiary. The day you die, it's going to go to probate court. Your beneficiary cannot touch a dime until 2 years after this money has been dealt with. IRA, frozen. Roth, frozen. Stock, frozen. Index, annuity, and life insurance are the only 2 products that bypass probate. Your bonds, probate. Your college fund for your kids, because your Social Security is the Social Security that started it, is going to be frozen. So tell me, the day God said it's time to go, remember, there's no alert, there's no SMS that tells you you're going tomorrow. Now, everything becomes frozen. So what are you leaving behind for your children? God said a man leaves behind wealth for his children and his children's children. You're an IT specialist. You're what? You're a pharmacist. You're a doctor. What amount are you leaving for your children when the government freezes every dime that you own? So what do you need to do? You need to index your money. The waiting game is a losing game, because the day you fall sick is too late. You cannot index that money. You can only index the money when the company can find out that you're healthy enough to be protected. Let me tell you, the day you do not index your money and something happens to you, let me tell you who gets the money. It's not going to be your son. It's not going to be your wife. It's not going to be your mother. It is going to be what? It's going to be theirs. Because you love them so much, you are related to them by blood, and you want to diligently give everything you have worked for. You don't sleep at your house. You don't have time for your children. But the day you pass away, this money becomes what? It becomes the IRS. Because they are your blood relative. That's why you came to America. For your children to beg in America and the IRS become rich. The waiting game is a losing game. The choice is yours. Who do you want to beg? You want IRS to beg, or do you want your own children to beg? When they do GoFundMe, even though they don't put the picture of your children, that's exactly what you're doing. You're putting the faces of your children to beg in America. You did not beg in Africa. You came here for the greener pasture, but you subject your family to beg. We say no. to GoFundMe. If GoFundMe is your plan, you are planning for your family to suffer in America. Because let me tell you, there's nobody that's going to raise your children for you. You brought them to this world. The money you have earned should take care of your children, not to help country creating things that they don't need to be creating, to do things that they don't need to be doing. So guess what? That's why we're here. What we do for our family now while we're alive, we provide wealth. You're working hard. You're working 2 jobs. Some people don't even sleep on their bed, but yeah, they have a house. Right? They have roof over their head. They have car for transportation. You have food. You have education. You provide safety. You're taking them to the checkup all the time. You're giving them hope. You tell them that they can be anything they want to be. You give them love. But what you forget to plan for is to plan for the day you die. The day you don't live on this earth anymore. Do you know it costs $10,000 or more to bury somebody in America? The day the government freezes, imagine right now, everything you have in your bank, if I lock it and you don't have access to it, do you know $1 becomes very hard? You have to beg somebody for that $1. That's exactly what happened to your family. They have to beg. GoFundMe is a glorified way of begging. And do you know, even when they do GoFundMe will still take a portion of the money. Even upon say you are begging, the GoFundMe will still charge you for you begging. Why would we have that as a plan for our future, for our children? What we don't notice, when they do GoFundMe, this is what it looks like. We don't put the picture of the children, but that's exactly what we're doing. We're begging. Being financially successful is not how much money you make, but how much money you keep. How hard do you make the money work for you, and how many generations the money how many generations the money will touch? Right now, how many generations can taste the money you are making right now if you don't protect it? 0. Now your children are already having kids, but yet your money can do nothing for them. So let's talk about fixed index annuity. Do you know that your fixed index annuity is like a roller coaster? What if I tell you that we can help you to move money from your old 401k to a fixed index annuity without paying a penalty? You have 3-4 jobs, you left your money there. You're like, oh, you know what? When I retire, I'm going to go get it. Let me tell you, that company collapses, your money is gone. We can move that money for you into a fixed index annuity. You immediately hit your index annuity, you get a bonus. 15 to 30% bonus. The money never lose a dime because it's indexed. This is what the elites use to plan for their retirement. It is not variable. Do not gamble with your future because you know you're going to grow old. You might not know the day you die, but you know the old age is definitely coming. When I came to America, I didn't have gray hair. I was looking at my husband the other day. Sorry, I didn't mean to put your business out there. I could count the gray hair he has on his head. I said, man, we don't old though. But you see, don't be old and broke. Be old and rich. Okay? Financial knowledge is very necessary. Job will drain you and stress you. But when you own your business, let me tell you, a couple of days ago, we went out, we're looking for our office because we're trying to get an office, right? And then we're just laughing at each other. We're like, wow. See how far we've gone. I want that to be your story. I want us to come and launch your own office in your state, that you have opened a business. There's going to be a starting point for your family. Your children will not be the last. They'll be the head of that company. We want to avoid probate. What is the number 1 cause of poverty in America? It's critical and chronic illness. Do you know that if you do not plan and stroke happens, you are what? You have fallen sick for free. About 795,000 people have stroke every year. About what? 805,000 people have heart attack. I had 29-year-old come with a brain bleed yesterday. Do you know that if we had put something in place for such a person, we would give given the family a check, as opposed to them be miserable and be thinking of how much it would cost to take care of that child? Cancer, about 1.7 million. Do you know out of every 8 men, 1 of them will have prostate cancer? Think about 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is so close of a number that you don't even know who is going to have AIDS next, who is going to have cancer next, prostate cancer. Breast cancer is very prone in women. We have a nurse that had she had a surgery. She had mastectomy. She had breast cancer, and she still had to go to work because what? Her mortgage was $5,000. Please do not fall sick for free. How many days forward could you survive if you were to stop working today? If you were to stop working today because of something, you cannot work for the next 1 year. Tell me, how many days could you survive? I've had people tell me, what, 1 month, 2 months? Type in the chat how many months. Type in the chat how many more you can survive with what you have in your bank. How many months can you survive? Isn't it scary? You've been in America for so long, but you can only survive for 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. 6 months is the most I've heard. What if the reason why you cannot work is because of sickness? Remember, sickness even requires you paying copay. You are broke, and now you're even having to pay copay before you can see a doctor. America is not going to be your nightmare. America is going to be what? It's going to be a land of opportunity for you. You're going to change lives. You're going to change the outcome of your family. It's not all about working hard. It's about working effective, using a system that works for you. It's been working for the elite for so long, it can work for you too. You only need to have the knowledge. And that's exactly what we're doing today. So I'm going to tell you a story about Nurse Grace. Nurse Grace sat through presentation just like you just did. And she saw the power in what this is doing. She works in a hospital. She helps people in the healthcare field. But she realized that who is helping the healthcare workers? Who is helping the doctor when the doctor falls sick? Who is helping the... You know what? GoFundMe is not your answer. GoFundMe cannot save you. Let me tell you, there's no GoFundMe that's going to pay your mortgage. Have you ever seen when GoFundMe will do monthly GoFundMe for you? Haba. Nobody came to America to come and work for you. So if you do not plan your own future, nobody will. Nurse Grace saw that she has children. She needs to protect herself, and she works really well. So she decided to take action. She indexed her money because she said, you know what? If anything happened, they cannot touch this money. So she indexed her money. Little did she know, I told you there's no SMS. Nobody come get an alert. She went to her physical. She had abdominal pain, by the way. That's the first thing. You see, healthcare workers, we are the worst patient because until you are dying, I think pharmacists too might be worst patient. Until they are dying, they will try everything they can try. Every concoction you can think about. My mother did this, my this. You try everything. Please tell me. I'll tell my kids, I say, you know, I'm your doctor. We will try everything before we go and see the doctor. Because that's what we do. We're already doing it at a hospital. We're not breaking anything. We know, okay, boil hot water, you have your nose is blocked, boil hot water, put aboliki, sniff it, your nose will clear up. You know, you have headache, use Tylenol, just buy it, $2 at the dollar store. We do that. Her abdominal pain was so excruciating, she could not cope it. She could not cope with it. So she went to the hospital. She had to go to the hospital. When she went to the hospital, the worst message is what they hit her with. They diagnosed her with pancreatic cancer. A message nobody plans for. Now tell me, have you ever gone to sleep and just be thinking to yourself that, okay, tomorrow I want to get diagnosed of cancer? Nobody wants it. But you see, the waiting game is a losing game. Nurse Grace already planned. She protected her income. She has a portfolio that guarantees that if you have any critical or chronic illness, you will get a check. She did not fall sick for free. She did not get cancer for free. Are you going to get sick for free? If you do not have any portfolio, you need to be reaching out to the person that invited you, that I cannot fall sick for free in America. Because the waiting game is a losing game. Do you know that Nurse Grace got a check of $947,000 because she protected her income? While she's battling cancer, she's not only battling cancer, she doesn't have to deal with financial burden along with it. Do you know if you don't have any money, the bank will not keep that house for you? They will kick you out. That's what they call foreclosure. When you see on Zillow, they're saying foreclose. That's people that could not pay their mortgage. That will not be your portion. Nurse Grace got $947,000. How long do you think it will take her to save this money? Remember when you make $100,000 a year, you're not saving $100,000, right? 100,000, maybe like 90,000 is you're eating it. You're paying bills. You might end up with 10,000. So that 10,000, imagine 10,000 divided by 947. Your eternal life is what it takes to save that kind of money. That's a check they sent to Nurse Grace. So you know what Nurse Grace said? She's grateful to be alive. And she's still in prayer and still asking every one of you to continue praying with her so she can fight this cancer. You know what she did? She paid off her house. She paid off her car. If you were diagnosed with cancer today and you do not have this portfolio, are you going to be paying off your house or the bank will be coming for your house? Are you going to pay off your car or the bank will be coming for your car? Remember, cancer does not go overnight. It's a fight that you have to fight for months or years. If you think education is expensive, I want you to wait until you see how much ignorance costs. I'm going to tell you of a nurse practitioner who has all the money you can think of. I mean, she makes almost like $200,000 a year. She sat through this presentation, but you know her statement, my plate is full. And that's exactly what a lot of you will say, my plate is full. But you know what? The day that things happen, you will realize that, your plate is full will not pay your bills. Your plate is full will not pay your mortgage. She was doing susu with her friends, putting $1,000 in susu. She said she's building a house in Africa. I want you guys to pay attention to this. She was building a house in Africa, doing all this project, but she refused to take action because she knows too much. She knows, oh my, I know all these things, I'm good. But the day she went for her annual fiscal, is there anybody that doesn't go for annual fiscal? Please, if you know you have health insurance, be using your annual fiscal, because it is how you catch things early. You don't want to catch things late. You want to catch it early. Your annual fiscal is meant to catch things early. She went to check to do her annual fiscal, and that's how they saw that her BUN and creatinine was all over the place. She was at end-stage renal failure. Her kidney was failing. They put her on dialysis. She started dialysis. They go for dialysis Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's how this lady that worked 7 days on, 7 days off, she could not do 7 days on anymore. She was a breadwinner. She was the one making the most money. And trust me, somebody making that kind of money, you can imagine how much her mortgage is, right? Income dropped in that household. They started struggling. And one thing we are very good, we Africans, we are very good in mobilizing. That's how we mobilized friends and started doing GoFundMe, begging for her to raise money. Do you know her friends, good friends, are coming up with $20, $50? When she had her money, she didn't protect it. Who are we to now be pouring our money in there? At the end of GoFundMe, they were able to come up with just $1,132. Tell me, how much is your own rent? Or how much is your mortgage? Can this money pay her mortgage that first month? Will they do it for her the following month, the 5th month? Will they do it for her? Tell me, do you think now, when she cannot even pay her mortgage, do you think she can go and complete the house in Africa? Do you think Mama that she's sending money to Africa can get any portion of the money she's making here where she can barely pay her own mortgage? This is how this lady had to move into a basement because she could not cope. You will never move from grace to grass. May it not be your portion. But you see, if we do not plan and be proactive, that's exactly what happens. GoFundMe cannot be your plan because that's no plan. What if she has what Grace has? Not Grace, if she had a portion of what Grace has, she could even get $100,000 in a check and she can still keep her house. If you think education is expensive, I want you to wait until you see how much ignorance costs. We're HIPAA protected. We don't share anything that is not on social media, that is not legally allowed. Do you know that, Bob Lee was the founder of Cash App. This guy was worth $10 million. The day he died, do you know that all his assets became frozen in probate court? The family, they said, what? Founder of Cash App, who was worth $10 million, died, and now his family, they are begging. Remember, GoFundMe is begging for funds on GoFundMe to bury him and care for his family, his children. All his money is now frozen. So tell me, if you do not have index on your money, trust me, your own money will be frozen. You're in America, so you need to wake up. If you love your family and you care about them, you need to index a portion of that money. So that way, it becomes your bank for your family to be able to take money when you're no more. As of Friday afternoon, the funds had only racked up to $8,000 and they still want $50,000 to help this man with his family. Trust me. You that you don't have millionaire friends, how much do you think GoFundMe will come up for you? Another case of probate. Chadwick Boseman, he was the actor in Wakanda. If you know the movie Wakanda, when he died, they froze his asset for 2 years. Remember I told you, 6 to 2 years. Prince, the singer Prince, his estate is so complicated that Prince is still in probate till today, and that man has been died for years. Do you know that Chadwick Boseman's wife only got 1.15 million out of the 3.8? Government gave the family 1.15 and the government took $1.5 million. Why? Are they related by blood? Because they can. Do you think the dead can come and fight them for $1.5 million? No, it is the law. And then courts charge $900 out of the money as court case. That money can make my entire village millionaire. $1,000 will become a millionaire in my country. 900K is what the government took. My goal, and every agent that's present here, our goal is to get to our client before they fall sick. Because when you fall sick, you cannot index anything. When you become disabled, you cannot index anything. It's too late. When you retire, you're too old. When you leave this world, they will put it in probate. There's nothing we can do. It's too late. To secure a 7702, we have to get it done before any of this happens. So the question is, are we too late to help you? If you know that we're not too late to help you, reach out to the person that invited you and thank them that thank you for not letting me be left behind. Because I need to index my money. I work hard for my money. I need to make my money work harder for me. How do I start? How do I start? We also go to churches because when somebody dies in the church, there should be no reason why the whole church has to suffer the what? Suffer the loss. How about we bring a check to the person that lost their life as opposed to the whole church having to donate for what? For burial. So we go to churches to the connection with the pastor and educate them about protecting their money. You are already putting your money in the bank, protecting in the bank, but you don't realize that you don't get the protection that you need. So we teach you the right way, the elite way, the way that will liberate your family. There are two kinds of people in America. We have the uninformed and the informed. You were uninformed because you knew nothing about protecting your money. All you know is about what? Susu. You know about bank. You know about putting your money in your what? In your safe bucket, in your 401k. That does nothing for you except put you in jail. The informed in America knows how to grow money. They index their money, they protect it, that if anything happens to them, their generation will never be poor. If something happens to them, they actually become richer. They don't fall sick for free. So let me tell you this. When the uninformed is sick, Susu is the only thing. Susu will bring money, $6,000, $5,000, and go for me. We'll get, maybe they raise for $5,000 for them. Remember, cancer is not $10,000. Oh. If you know anybody that has cancer, cancer will drain the family money. I do not pray that condition on anybody. But who knows who it's going to hit? When it hits, what do you have in place to protect you? But you see, the informed in America get sick and they get a check. So now, we are in the business of giving you a blank paper. You write how much you want on that check. You have the power to write how much you want on that check, and we'll kind of help you set up the plan. But it's something we'll have to secure before you fall sick. When I heard about this, guess what I did? I protected everybody in my house. Everybody got protection because nobody's going to fall sick for free. So let me show you what my $1 million. Remember, Nurse Grace has 1 million, and then she got 947,000 when she fell sick. If I get critical illness, God forbid, I don't pray to be sick. This is my bank, but I don't pray to be sick. But the day I fall sick, they will give me $900,000 if I have critical illness, end-stage renal failure, blindness, paralysis, Alzheimer's. I broke my hip. I have Parkinson's, HIV, AIDS. They'll give you $900,000. My question to you is, if you fall sick with all this condition that I just told you, with any of them, would you get checked or do we have to do GoFundMe? If we have to do GoFundMe, which means you fell sick for free. If GoFundMe is your plan, you have no plan. Critical illness, chronic illness, if you cannot do 2 of the 6 areas, remember I told you, people are running out of money for rehab. Do you think I can run out of money with $900,000 going to rehab? No. The waiting game is a losing game. If you cannot work, you cannot feed yourself. Just having stroke, your hand, you cannot move a hand anymore. You can't feed yourself. You cannot put on your clothes by yourself. You cannot move from chair to bed or bed to chair. You cannot do 2. You are even incontinent. Just 2 out of those 6, they'll give you what? They'll give you 90% of the face amount you have. As I told you, we give you a check. You write what you want on it. So I wrote $1 million on mine. What check do you want to write for yourself? If doctor diagnosed that you have less than 12 months to live, remember like bone cancer, the blood cancer, those kind of cancers that are they're terminal. You have limited amount of time to live on this world, on this earth. They will give me the whole face amount to take care of myself. Let me ask you this question. God forbid, I'm not praying death on any one of you, but if something happens and you die today, and I attended the funeral, which one of the following do you think your family will find more valuable? Do you think they will prefer me to donate $20 to GoFundMe, which is what a lot of our friends do? A condolence card, I can get it from a dollar store. A dish of food, I do fufu, egusi, and pounded yam. Is that what the family will benefit from? An arrangement of flowers or a check that will cover the cost of the funeral. Any remaining medical bills, pay off all the debt that you owe, provide college money for the children, and replace all the years of lost income. If the answer is E, you need to talk to the person that invited you. You can take a picture of this question right here because this question will change the lives of the people you meet. Ask them, the day they die, which one do you think the family will find more valuable? If it's E, please come. Let me show you who will help you with the E. Because we do. And you can also join us. If you think life insurance is for you to die, let me tell you, life insurance has changed over the years. This is living benefit. The one you enjoy while you are alive to make sure your life will work is running well. This is my life insurance. I was able to get a check. I needed to pay off my car. And I told them, how much can I take out? They said, I can take out 31,000. It's my money. And I told them, send me a check. I want to be able to show people that I got money. This is 2023, by the way. That's like 3 years ago. And my money is still working hard for me. So the question is your money working hard for you or you're eating the money? Because you see, this money, when I took it, the money is still there, working. Hey, that's the power of indexing. You take out the money, but the money is still working for you in there. Yes, the money is still working for you in there. And remember, some people might be like, oh, you know what, this sounds too good to be true. Do you realize that the government is one that gave me a license? I'm licensed in 20 states. I'm licensed in Florida. Florida state gave me a license. Texas gave me a license. Michigan gave me a license. Ohio gave me a license. Your state, if you let me know, I'm going to get licensed in that state and I'm going to use that license and make money in your state. Because that's the power of what we do. We're non-captive. So let's talk about life insurance. There's group life insurance. If you think group life insurance in your job will help you, there's nothing that it can do for you except keep you in jail. Because if you do not die on the job, nobody's going to get money. Your family will not get any money. It's very deceptive. You leave the job, it ends there. Let's talk about term. This is what they give the middle class. You don't die, no money. And then you die, you forgot to pay before you die, no money. It is very deceptive. And a lot of people are living longer. Imagine you getting a 20-year term and you live to be 80 years old. Now you don't have anything. And now you die at that time. You just died for free. Please, I want you to say, I will not fall sick for free. I want you to tell yourself right now, I will not fall sick for free. And I will not die for free. And in order for you not to fall sick or die for free, you need to get an index account, protect your money. Because you want to get a check. Whether in sickness or in death, you want either you or your family to get a check. Whole life is a permanent life insurance and index universal life is a permanent life insurance. And this is what we preach. We teach you on how to make your money work harder for you. So what it is we do for family, we're non-captive. We have A-rated companies that are out there that we work with and we help you get the product that works best for you. When is the best time to get this product? When is the best time to protect your children the day they are born? Your spouse, the day you meet them. Yourself was yesterday because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Who knows if they're going to be alive tomorrow? Nobody knows. So the waiting game is a losing game. You want to protect yourself as soon as possible. I would think about it. I'll do more research. When has it ever helped anybody? We have gone to school. We got licensed to help you. What research do you want to go do? To go and research what you didn't know? You want to go and gamble your life and then by tomorrow you fall in the hospital and you're like, oh, I wish I knew. I've had people send me messages. I'm like, oh, my sister, can you get it for me? I'm like, sorry, it's too late. Which should I pay first, the house or a policy? Remember, you don't make a payment in your house will go for foreclosure. You have a policy, you get a check, your house still stays in your name and your family. You actually have enough money to pay off that house. The choice is yours. The waiting game is a losing game. Nobody wants to be a loser. Why is it not for everybody? Your health status. Your speeding ticket. Are you the one that's always jumping red light? Criminal record. Are you legal in America? Because you have to be legal in America or Texas for you to do this policy or for you to do this business. Let me tell you, I want you to take a picture of this book. This book is a very wonderful book. The book is $7 or $8 on Amazon. It's a best-selling book. It says life insurance. Remember, they said, do you read fine print? Whenever you see something, we don't normally read fine print. But let me tell you what the fine print is saying. How the wealthy use life insurance as a tax-free personal bank to supercharge their savings. They use it as their bank. The wealthy use it as their bank. You don't have to be wealthy to use it as your bank. You just have to be intentional to use it as your bank. Yeah. Do we agree? You work overtime to go on a cruise. Why can't you work overtime to put money in a bucket that's going to work for your future self? Your future self will thank you later. Yeah. You don't have to stress yourself. You don't have to squeeze the money out. Just pick up one shift a month and fuel it for your policy. So that way it can protect your family. You are making sure that your family will not beg for money. Let me tell you. When you put your money in the bank, your bank is going behind your back and they are putting all your money and getting it. So you are saying, no, I don't want to get life insurance. But yeah, your bank has already gotten it for you. But you are not getting any money for it. The day the bank needs money, they get it, but you don't get nothing. Your family will be begging. Bank of America has 19 billion. Do you think they will give you a portion of the 19 billion? No. You're broke. You don't have it. Wells Fargo has 17 billion. JP Morgan has 10 billion. US Bank has 5 billion. That is, do you think they're going to die? Do you think Bank of America has blood? They're going to just buy and just die? No. It is because it has lawsuit protection, it has bankruptcy protection, and it grows for them. Don't transfer the wealth that God has destined for you into somebody else. So let's make sure that we have our own family bank. Is it not insignificant that banks put billions of dollars in life insurance? It is a reflection of the value they place on this powerful asset. The question is, do you have this powerful asset? You think bank is so safe for you to put money, but yet the most powerful asset is a life insurance. You don't have it. That is how the wealthy transfer wealth from generation to generation. Do you know if you don't die for free, that $1 million or $2 million plan you just had, you just made your children millionaires without you even having to do anything. That is the power of what we do. When I tell you we're in the business of giving money to people, you don't believe me. We are in the business of giving you a paper, write the blank check, and we deliver it to you. When you fall sick, we'll give you the check. When you die, we'll give your family the check. You choose. But if you don't take action, then we're going to do GoFundMe. We're going to be begging around for $20 for your family. Walt Disney built Walt Disney based on life insurance. He couldn't get money from the bank. And that's how he built it from the what? From the money from his life insurance. Do you know the Starbucks you are drinking? You put $10 every day drinking coffee, but yet your money is ending up in life insurance for somebody to buy more value for themselves. Why wait? All this corporation, Nike shoe. Do you think Nike will just stop walking? I mean, Nike shoe will just stop on the road while you're walking. No. So you have to own businesses. If you want to be financially successful, you have to own business. And what better business than a business at $155? Do you guys agree? Would you rather use $10,000 to start a business or $155? If you know you want the $155, I want you to type in the chat, you know what, I'm ready. Because you are destined to succeed. God has planted a seed that you need to plant. You know when you're like, oh, I need a seed. God has given you that seed, which is this information, a system. Now it is up to you to now make it work for you. We will share with you. You have free mentorship by multi-millionaire. Do you know if you go for mentorship outside, you pay somebody as a life coach to teach you about a business? Here is for free. Just get that license. We'll teach you. This is a millionaire boss. It is carrying people to the destination. 10 years is the school. 10 years, you go to doctorate school. Doctors will teach you for 10 years for you to now start going to make money. They don't teach you about money. They teach you how to go and work to make the money. We are going to teach you to make the money that within 10 years of being in the boss, you are going to become a millionaire by God's grace. You just have to be coachable. These are the faces of people that have said yes. We have pharmacists. We have doctors. We have engineers. We have nurses. We have even saloonists. We have everybody. This boy right here is 18 years old. He joined the crusade because by the time he's 22, 23, he's going to be a millionaire. I want you guys to say amen. How can you say that for your children if you don't put them in the right place? You have to have the system for them to work, to succeed. So you are one step away from success. You need to plant your seed. You need to make that decision and come and get mentorship from this multi-millionaire because trust me, next year he's not going to be making 10 million. He's going to be making probably 12. So what part of that blessing are you interested in? One of the reasons the rich get richer, the poor gets poorer is because the subject of money is taught at home. They don't teach it at home or in school. And you are coming to this place to learn about money. And you're going to learn it for free. This is another best-selling book. If knowledge about money is not important, why do you think they keep writing books about money? You see, the biggest banker of all, former Reserve Chairman Bernard, he has all the majority of his money in life insurance. Why does he have all his money in life insurance and not in what? In reserve? Because he knows the importance of it. Life insurance is like a parachute. You know when you're in the airplane, they tell you that, oh, put oxygen on your face before you put it on somebody else. Please and please. You cannot be in business and not get policy for yourself. You have to protect yourself. Because the day something happens and you fall sick, we don't want to be what? We don't want to be doing GoFundMe. We want to deliver a check to you. Life insurance is like a parachute. If you don't have it the first time you need it, there's no second chance. So that brings me to the end of my presentation. So thank you guys so much for listening to me, and I hand it over to Champion Mutu. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for a wonderful presentation. You see, there's much more than money. There is a purpose behind this, and that purpose is everything. You know, we have families to protect. We work so hard. We're not protecting our income. We're not protecting ourselves. And just like she said, we're falling sick for free and we're dying for free. Other people are creating a legacy from this. Something else is materializing out of something bad. I was telling somebody some days ago, they just built a new cancer center just about 3-4 miles from our house. What does that tell you? There's more need for cancer treatment. More people are being diagnosed. Why do we think this is happening? It's happening from foods we eat, the environment, a lot of other factors. So sickness is not a matter of if, but when. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening again. I open up the floor. You can unmute yourselves. If this is your first time, please introduce yourself. Let us know who invited you, and we can go from there. Thank you.